A very good morning to you. April is just literally a week old now, and I am Hilda Wadidi, and it's about that time we delve into my favorite segment, which is youth and politics. And with me in studio today, as we discuss the reconciliation agenda, I have one Faith Norah Lukosi, who is the president of the Nairobi County Youth Assembly, and she's accompanied by Nicole Kiara, who is the deputy speaker, Nairobi County Youth Assembly. Say good morning to people.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. Being that you are youth, let me first start with an issue rising with regards to the youth. Over the weekend, we had students from Kenyatta University complaining that UASU, there are some individuals from inside there that are trying to stop the lecturers, all those lecturers who have written commitment letters to come back to class, to stop them from going back to class. What has the Youth Senate of Nairobi been doing about the ongoing lecturer strike? I'll start with you, the president. What have you done to mediate the process?
Well, as the Youth Senate, what we are concerned much about is students being in class. We want the lecturers back in the classes, and we don't know the politics behind it, but one thing is certain: we want the students back in class. We want the lecturer strike to be out, and we want the lecturers in class.
All right. What about you, Nicole?
My take is whoever wants to work, let them go and work. All right. You shouldn't bar any lecturer who wants to go and say, okay, fine, we had looked at the terms of the agreement and say we're okay with that. Let's go back to the classroom, to the lecture rooms, and and lecture the students. So that's in that type of hustle, the tussle between now the lecturers ongoing with the government because of payment issues. The people who are badly affected are the youth, because look at it now, when they're fighting, the youth are now, they can't continue with their lectures. That's now years wasted down the line. And then now when they go to the job market, you're no longer marketable because you're told, okay, why did you take this long? It's being disadvantageous. So really and truly, in my take, the lecturers, whoever wants to go back, let them go back and let them get their dues. You shouldn't punish them and bar them from, just because you're not okay with the amount that has been raised. Not everyone will agree with you. If that is okay with some lecturers, let them go back. If you're not okay with it, go and discuss with the government and say, fine, us this type of, this group of lecturers are not okay with it. Can we discuss it further? But don't put the youth at fault and, how do I explain it? Don't cause the youth to, backtrack on their studies, on whatever they want to pursue in life.
Well, we would also like to understand how much influence the Youth Senate has on the national government, because recently, in the spirit of today's topic is the reconciliation agenda. In the spirit of the handshake, the president and Raila came up with a 14-member team to spearhead the agenda on reconciliation, and it was devoid of any youth. So we would like to hear your opinion on why were you guys left out, and what do you think about this list? Do you think these people will be able to achieve what the president and the people's president are trying to accomplish?
Our greatest concern is that the committee, the 14-member committee on the peace and reconciliation, doesn't have any youth. So we are wondering, how are the youths, being the largest, the bulk of the population in Kenya, and being the ones who are used, to perpetrate violence, who are the victims of violence, how are they going, how is the 14-member committee without one youth in the committee going to handle the issues that affect the youths? That is why, as a Youth Senate and other youth-led organizations, we are organizing a Peace and Reconciliation Assembly on 25th, on 25th of June, because we want to know what are the stakes of the youths in this peace and reconciliation, the peace and reconciliation agenda. Secondly, is this peace and reconciliation agenda only a mere PR stunt, as people are aligning themselves for 2022 politics when we as the youths are looking at how our issues that are affecting us are going to be resolved. Yes, those are the questions we want to be addressed.
All right, what about you, the speaker? Is there anything she has left out in regards to the Youth Senate's participation in this whole reconciliation process?
She's practically said everything, actually. Maybe just to add something on it, we need, as the youth, to know that you have a voice. And if you're not represented, you have a right, you know, you have a right to question. You know, if a governor says he'll do 1, 2, 3, or whoever you have elected, any person you've elected into power, had promised you 1, 2, 3, and they do not deliver, you as a youth have the right, because one, you had voted, and we constitute the most majority of the population here in Kenya. It's unfortunate the 14th member committee does not have the youth, like she says, and you're really wondering, how are they able to, you know, comprehend the matters of the youth, and we're not there? So how do they get this information? How are they able to interpret what's going on the ground? And we, the Senate, are the people and our organization come in and say, look, we have this organization, we are the youth, we interact with the people on ground. So we should, a suggestion maybe should come in and say, this is what the youth are actually, you know, going through. And we had, like she said, we have this conference where we're going to air and say, okay, the youth on ground are saying this, but you on top are saying something totally different. Explain to us how you got it there. And are you willing to work together with us? You know, we're willing to help you and help the youth all together. Because if there's a way we can work together, the youth are able to, you know, develop, and we get enlightened, and, you know, the youth will be more enlightened, so to speak.
Okay, speaking of the Youth Senate and your cause of actions, you have a press conference you've scheduled for this Friday where you'd like to talk about the situation in Nairobi and what you think is happening with the county government of Nairobi. Can you please enlighten us a bit about that?
Yes, actually, we were to have the press conference on Thursday, but then there were a few issues that made us to push it forward to Friday, to this coming Friday. And the press conference is on the state of affairs of Nairobi County. We are concerned that there is poor service delivery in the county. We are concerned that the roads, they are very poor, they are dilapidated. We are concerned that there is no water while the rain is very heavy outside. The taps are running dry. We are concerned that the bursaries that are supposed to be given to the students, to needy students, have not been disbursed. And we have also studied the manifesto, the Sonko Igade manifesto. It had so many promises for the youths. The manifesto was very clear. 100 days within office, there was so many promises that was to be fulfilled. But now, 9 months down the line, there is nothing that we can the governor can account for. And it's unfortunate that when you try to raise out these issues, you are turned down by goons. You know, like what happened on Thursday. We could not proceed because of such kinds of things. We want accountable leadership. We want our issues to be addressed. We want the governor to step up on his mandate, and if he's not able to deliver, then let him step down for another well-able leader to take up.
Well, you know, he is saying that he's being sabotaged. So he's talking about cartels and what have you.
But what the governor is talking about mostly is PR. Let us see what exactly has he done when he's talking about beautification of the county. How can we beautify the county when the roads are in bad state? We can't beautify the county when we have so many other issues that need to be addressed. So let us not have an ostrich mentality. Let us not thrive so much on PR and psychophancy when there are so many issues that require urgent attention.
All right.
Sorry, maybe to just add on that.
Okay.
Just he's saying he's being sabotaged by goons and whatever, but until then, what has he done? Is there any progress? And you can say, look, I tried to do this far, but I was stopped. There's nothing we have seen so far. So we need him to account for us and say, look, up to this point, what have you done? Yeah.
All right. Sawa sawa basi. Anyway, it's about time we take a little commercial break. We have Jeremiah, Honorable Jeremiah, coming through. He's an MP from Kiara County, and we're going to have a very, very indulging discussion here because the Youth Senate is here for a reason. We are here to grill and grill and grill. So make sure you do help us grill. Send in your comments and your contributions to 22162 and start with YM254, and let us hold our government accountable.